Bad. Was it this bad when I was gone, Blake? Was he this?
No,
No, it was worse.
no, it was 10 times worse. It was we started talking about Bitcoin mining
And
and
then what happened? How far off the reservation did you get?
we got pretty far off the reservation. We started like drilling in on Google Maps to these facilities. It was crazy.
Yeah, see what happens when I'm gone.
That's
All
what I
sorts of
told.
trouble.
I know. We start
I
getting
gotta
into
have adult
trouble,
supervision, you know?
and I don't count.
Well, you're going to have to count. You're having a baby soon. You're going to have to practice up parenting Jeffrey when I'm gone.
Oh, that's great practice. Oh gosh,
Anyway.
we missed you, Jack.
Thank you. I missed you guys too. Yeah.
All right. Before we get too far down the rabbit hole, though, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. You trade those things, you might lose money. Jack and I highly recommend you take a personal interest in your own financial well-being because nobody cares about your money more than you. But if you believe that you can hire somebody, you know, you want somebody to tell you what to do, there's people you can hire, but your mileage may vary. Mileage may vary. So in my experience anyway, um, the one financial advisor I dealt with got my mom into a Ponzi scheme. So
Really?
yeah, really, real true story.
Was he a registered dude?
Yeah, absolutely. And he
Was he
didn't go to
behind
jail.
bars?
He did not go to jail. That's the biggest bullshit.
Well,
I'll tell you what, man.
that's terrible. How come
Yeah,
he didn't go to jail?
supposedly he was naive to the bigger Ponzi scheme that he was involved in. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe he turned state's witness. I don't know.
Yeah, something like
He
that.
turned in the big guys so he could get himself out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like literally, here's the like I can pull it over. Look, this guy right here. This is him.
Wow. Knoxville man. Ooh, big one, 1.2 billion.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
right there. I mean, that was Wiener Witz Financial. Like I've been to that location.
Well, that might tell you something.
That might.
Yeah, his name was Trey right there. Trey. Yeah, so that's got my mom into it, and you know, it, I made the money back for her, but you know
Good.
that's
That's what I wanted to hear.
yeah, that was a real deal though. Yeah, just sucks for people to lose money like that.
It does. Sometimes I don't think the penalties are high enough because it doesn't slow it down if you just let everybody off, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that dude, he's still out there. I mean, and there's other people doing it. Like it's not the only Ponzi scheme. Like there's other ones that come around. So like the penalties aren't stiff enough to keep people from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it just keeps on happening. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to
Bernie
say.
Madoff. Bernie Madoff. He made off with the money until he didn't.
Anyway, so Jack and I are trying to help you, you know, take care of your own financial well-being. There's nothing out there that's just gonna like print money for you with no risk. You don't have to worry about it. It's just not a real thing. Nobody's gonna trade for you and just give you the money. It's not a real thing. Don't fall for stuff like that. Um, I'm just trying to be open and honest with everybody. There's no holy grail. There's no goose that goes lays golden eggs. There's no like I can just take all the wins and never the losses without having to sweat it. It's just none of that's real. Now, Jack and I sit here and do income trades, and to me, that's the most stress-free thing you could possibly do. And in fact,
Amen, brother. Amen. And the hardest to lose money at and the most profitable. I could go on and on, but
I sit here and do this every day. Little gains over and over and over. Where's the big drawdowns? Well, they're in here. They're not very big, but they're in here. Got four of them so far. And the profit with those drawdowns in here looks like this. Up to 53,000 now, Jack.
wow, dude, you're going to hit the goal sooner than you think.
I hope so. I mean, I'm busting my butt trying to do it every day.
Yeah.
Um, every day. I'm at this. Now, for those of you that are new here, you don't know about this goal. This right here, I started this in April. My goal is to get this 1 month number. This is profit for 1 month right here. I want to get that to 50K. And not just 1 month, but I want to have that over and over and over and over and over repeatably. That's the goal. Right now, when I click on 3 months, it's 25K. You divide that by three, that's like a little over $8,000 a month on average. So I'm having a good month this month with 14K. But looking back at my 3 months, I was kind of slowed down. 8K. I've got a ways to go to get to that 50K challenge. When I click on
Mhm.
3 months, that needs to be 150K. And needless to say, 25, significantly lower than 150K. So I got a ways to go. Be at
But
this
you're on
for
track. That's the main thing. You're on track,
on
right?
track, and I got, I'll probably be at this for a couple years at least. A couple years at least. So gives us something to talk about and watch and play with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those fly puts you got me into closed out full profit, 100% winner.
All right. So what's the date today?
And today is the uh, what is today? The 7th.
All right.
I got into ones for next week, the 16th, and got paid 80 cents on those. We can jump back into fly. I
Okay.
did these last Friday when we were on this dip back here, Friday, right here. I jumped into some $20.50 strike. We talked about
Puts.
this on the show, and I jumped into it later on after we got off the show.
I sold the 2350s
Yeah,
on the
little
5th.
richer.
On the 5th. Yeah. I want this one though. I want to be long and strong when it gets it on. So I
See, this
want
is
to
fly
be
right here. I jumped out to the 16th, and that was on Friday. So I was 2 weeks out. And we were down here at 20 in the 20s, low 20s back on Friday. I sold those right there, 2050s. I got paid 80 cents.
dang.
It still says it's going for a mid at 60 cents. I don't know. Um, Somehow I'm skeptic of that. I don't think you can get filled, but for maybe 20 cents, maybe. But I'm gonna let those cook, keep cooking off. And I mean, look at that up here at 28.50.
So
Now, if we get to this target right here, I'm leaving this freaking thing alone. I'm just telling you right
not
now.
me. Not
I'm
me.
telling you right now. I think we're due a pullback if we hit 37.
I hope
So
so. I'm telling you right now, I'm sticking on this thing. This is going to be, I'm going to ride this one. Up, down, I don't care. I like this one. What's the beta on this?
right now the beta's running 1.7.
Yeah, and the
Looks like.
volume's been great, and the cash flow has been amazing. I'm kind of strong on space stuff this year, and I like this one. I sold the this Friday the 9th. I sold the 2350 puts that expire Friday. I
Okay.
like it,
Yeah,
and I did.
I sold these down here at 80 cents, and we could do the math on this, but it took basically 2050 bucks. 80 I got paid 80 bucks. I collected that right away. It reserved 2050 in my account. That was 3.9% return, and that was for 2 weeks, so 14 days. And if we annualize that out 365 days, if I'd gone out a whole year and done this at the same kind of strike, that's 100% return right there. That's not bad for 2 weeks of doing nothing but waiting right there. 100%
Awesome.
return. Didn't have to buy the stock, didn't have to do anything except put a little cash up and sell this 2050 strike put and
I
do
like
that.
this. I
I
like
did that,
this.
doing that twice in a row. That's 100% here, annualized return, 100% here, annualized return. If we got that pullback, if this spikes up and hits it and does a pullback, I'll sell it again here. But I'm not going to chase it up here.
Yeah,
I'm going to
this
wait.
is exactly for beginners, Penny. This is exactly for beginners. Catching up in the chat. Hello, Earl. This will make me very happy. Earl's on track to do over 262,000. Way to go,
Nice.
Earl. So proud of that guy. Donna, we're doing secured cash secured puts mostly. Penny, you can start with $1,000. Hello, Pete to Brock, everybody else. Yeah, this is beginner stuff.
Yeah, this is not hard.
Beginner,
Like this, there's nothing
beginner
hard about
friendly.
this.
So you just need, and this is something you should get for 2026. If you're making your financial New Year's resolutions, get options approval to do level two, even maybe level three, be able to do spreads. But this is just basic cash secured puts that anybody can do. One of these would cost, 20,000, excuse me,
Two
$2,000.
thousand dollars. Yeah, like
So for 2 grand or less, you could do it. And you just start cash flowing it. So if you sell a cash secured put below the price of the stock and it trades down to that price, you get assigned the stock and then you turn around and start selling calls on that stock. So you cash flow it the whole time. That's what we're doing here. And we put a little twist on what I just said.
yeah, and this strategy is commonly called the wheel. Jack and I both have our own little nuances to it. If you go Google it or you watch some YouTube about it or whatever you might do to learn more about the wheel strategy, there's lots of people that'll tell you the right way to do it. There's no real right way except
No.
make money. That's the right way. The wrong way is to take a loss doing it.
Yeah, don't book
Um,
the loss. So if
if
you
you
get put the stock and it goes down, it's an unrealized loss. Just keep cash flowing it.
And an example of that, I've been in this one for several months, although it's about to come back up into positive territory here.
Wow, look at that gap fill in. That is textbook fill in the gap. Look at
L-
that.
Look at it go, baby.
When
I
did
like
it
it.
start? When did that start off the bottom there?
Yeah, that made the bottom in early November there, the 11th of
Yeah.
November.
Wow, straight up since then. And this is a trade I think you could tell people didn't go as planned. It was a
Yeah,
loss,
well,
but you trade out of it.
absolutely. This is one I've had to work because coming into right here, I thought this was the bottom, and coming into this earnings back in July, I've been in this trade for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into this trade in July, I sold a 49 strike right there. That's why the alert's sitting there. 49 strike put coming into those earnings, and guess what? It went down, and it didn't just go down; it kept going down, and it got a little reprieve here, but this is my cost all the way up here. Right around, I was at like 48 with my credit I took in. So didn't get anywhere close to that. And another earnings hit and another gap down. Now, on this gap down, I sold another put and actually got put more shares down here. Sold another put, got more shares, brought my cost basis from 49 area down to 43. Well, guess what? Now
That's a 1 day
43.
shot from here.
That's really close. Like a little sparky action here, and I could be back in profit on this thing. Even if I was still at 49, it's not a stretch from 39 back to 49.
Classic textbook case of how doing the wheel, even when the stock goes against you, can still work for you. As long as you don't book a loss in there, which most people would be like, forget this. If it was just a stock, right, you'd be bailing on it. But if you keep working it, using options to cash flow it, it can all turn around your way.
Now I'm just cash flowing it. I don't have any options sold right now because this thing's on a heck of a tear, and I don't really want to sell. I don't want to limit the upside here. If it blows through my 43, I want to keep making that money because this pattern right here has the potential to go up here to 77. That's actually like when we get above this 618 level up here, back above 49, that kicks off this bigger potential. This is my technical pattern. This is one of the things I go after is this pattern over and over. We talk about it on this channel. I talk about it on YouTube. This is my technical bounce pattern right here. If this thing can get above that 618 level, it activates this target with a 75% likelihood up here at 77. Now, if my cost basis is 43, and I have I think 600 shares right now, and this rides up, we're talking about $34 a share times 600 shares,
Mm, mm, mm.
plus the premium I can collect on the way there. This could turn into a pretty major trade. Pretty major trade. And all on something that didn't go as planned to begin with.
Yep. You can't do this, work yourself out of a bad trade with any other strategy either. You just can't do it. This wheel is just perfect for working it when stocks are working and taking your time in the longer run and working yourself out of it on one that didn't go well. But you're still cash flowing it. So you don't have to book that loss. Just stay with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I've sold upside calls along the way. I've sold some puts along the way, down below my cost basis, just always chipping away, trying to bring some cash flow. Right now, at this moment, I don't have any calls sold because I just have this feeling like we're gonna pop on up and get me up in this area, and then I can start selling up here about 49 again, and that's where the money really starts to potentially start rolling in.
Because you'll have a booked gain. So if you're using that PX or software, you'll have a gain on the stock, capital gain there, and you'll have all that premium income until you got the gain.
Yeah, and I'll bring this over and show it off here. My open positions in the trade. Roll down here, CMG. That's the wrong one. Here's this one. This is the one. See, back here in July, sold the 49 right there. Sold that put. Got put 400 shares. I was sold a few calls along the way, and then we came into that earnings. I sold a 34, which it dipped below 34, put me 200 more shares. That's where I'm at now. Got 600 shares. I've sold some upside calls a couple times. Got those closed off right now. I actually bought those back. I was I was looking at it starting to rip. I was like, uh-oh, I sold that 43 below my cost basis. I need to go ahead and close it back out because I need this to rip on through 43. Now, I hadn't gotten there. I could have let it, this was out to January 16th. Time will tell if we get above that before then, by then. That's still another 2 weeks out or a week and a half out. But I didn't want to risk it for the biscuit. I went ahead and took a profit, a couple pennies right there. And I'm just sitting on this 600 shares right now. Now, I do have a
Nice.
secondary position in another account with a little different cost basis. I couldn't quite get the fills the same. This one's still got the cost basis up at 49. I've worked it down to 46 here, and that was just still cooking right along. So got two different positions going, two different accounts. And this is what I got open right now as far as wheel trades. This many wheel trades. How do you keep track of them all? With a piece of software called PXO right here. This is run by other people. It's not run by us. But it's super handy for keeping track of these type of trades. Now, here's all the ones I have open. Several TSLLs. One of Jack and I's favorite for doing this on. This one right here, this account, it's never gotten put. I've been riding it forward since September. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Never been put the shares.
I,
Just keep
I
rolling.
I got a crazy story to tell you about TSLL.
Yeah.
So I did sell the 1750 puts. I sold five of them. I mean, 15 contracts at 1750, and I got all the stock put to me on Friday.
What the heck?
And on Monday, I sold it at 18. No, I'd have to take another look at that. I got it put to me at 1850 and sold it at
Okay.
1950.
1850 makes sense. That
Then
was,
I went back and sold the 1750s again. Yeah, that's what happened.
I was gonna say
1500. I sold 1,000 for 1,000 for up $1, and I kept the balance to sell calls against it.
now
But
this
what a
has
gift! What a gift this has been. When you do get put to stock, what a gift! That was the quickest $1,000 I ever made.
now, Jack, this is really interesting right here. This is a special setup. I don't see this very often. This right here is not only my market roadmap bounce pattern with the orange line right there, but it also is that fib line pattern like I did on Fly, and it all comes together at the same place. Now, when these two patterns show up and line up exactly at the same place, I call this the rocket ship pattern
The launch.
because this setup right here has shown the potential for a very strong, very powerful move up. 37 would be the target right now.
I'm with you on this one.
That's
Just to be
$20. That's $20 higher.
Yeah, we'll come right back to this. Just to be clear, Doug is asking, you need a healthy margin account to do all these wheel trades, or am I
Nah,
missing something? Actually, I don't use any margin. I have a margin account, but I don't use the margin part. I just stay within the cash part. And if you were doing that right here on TSLL with or without a margin account, you could sell a 17 strike price put or whatever you want. That would be $1,700 cash, no margin involved unless you wanted to do that on a margin account. So this is super small account friendly. And the broker's not going to have any problem with you doing a cash secured put because they don't have any risk. So if you say, I agree to buy TSLL at 17 and you get paid money right now for making a promise to buy it at 17 and it doesn't go to 17, you just keep the premium you made from selling the cash secured put using your money to secure it. If you do get the stock, you've got the cash to pay for it. So it's not a high risk trade as your broker sees it. And then if
in
you get the
fact,
stock, you turn around and sell calls.
I have this little account, 6,800 bucks. I have like 3 positions I'm doing this trade on in this account. This one, this Soundhound right here.
Yeah, that's a great one for small accounts. This is so small account friendly. You know, a lot of other stuff might be $25,000 just to allocate, not because it's pattern day trader, but this is so super affordable.
And it looks like I've got a huge loss on these Mara shares, but I've been cash flowing these for 4 years. I've had these shares for 4 years, cash flowing them. I've been called out and been added back. I've been cash flowing these for 4 years in this account. So this price is not accurate at all. And I just keep going after this stuff. Just keep going after it. Like this Soundhound right here. I sold that 11 put. I got put those shares. It's sitting there right at break even. And I've got a 13 strike call sold against it. Can you do it at a small account? Absolutely. I mean, look, the profit
Yeah.
year to date, like 5 days, 7 days in I'm up $700 in this account.
Yeah, and I think I told you my knuckleheaded nephew is doing it in Fermi, and he's only using $700. So, you know, you can do it, and I'm doing it on AVGO. So the principles and concepts apply to regardless of the price of the stock. But if you're looking with a smaller account, you can find stocks that are more affordable to do it with. Fermi's like $8, $9. This one's 1,800. I agree, man. I agree. This is why I need to get long more of the stock, and I don't want to get long TSLL through selling cash secured puts because I don't think I'm going to get it. So I'm going to straight up buy some and sell calls against some of it, and I'm going to leave some uncapped because this probably be the leader for 2026 Tesla. It's been such a laggard, and it's got so much future.
Yeah. I mean, that's right there. It, this is the rocket ship pattern. Does it work every time? Absolutely not. But the potential here is so great that even if you don't believe in Tesla or anything like that, go pick you up a share for 20 bucks just to see.
Now we like this better for this strategy. There's some strategies that I like TSLA for that are absolutely the best, but there's a lot of strategies that TSLL are better applied to, and this the wheel is one of them because this beta of 334 that's very high means when you're selling options, you're going to get a high premium and you're going to get a big bang for your buck. If Tesla moves up 10%, this is going to move up 20%. So same thing on the downside. Tesla goes down 50%, this is going to go down 100%.
Yeah. So, and if you're having trouble following along with us, talking about, what we're talking about right here, this is not hard, difficult concepts here. What we're talking about is using leverage with options, leveraging the power of options through a relatively simple trade called the wheel. And, yes, there's some education that you probably need to do for yourself. If you don't know what a call, don't know what a put is, don't know what shares are. Jack and I are probably talking a little more advanced than you are right now, but you should still hang out with us. You're going to learn a thing or two. But what we're talking about is leveraging the power of a put. And I've got lots of puts sold here. And if I get put those shares, when you sell a put, you take on the obligation to buy shares at a price. I can pull over a trading platform right here. TSLL. This is the ticker. This is a leverage ticker for Tesla. It's got 2x leverage on it. Jack, this does not universally work for all leverage tickers, but Tesla has this TSLL. There's other ones that Tesla has that are leveraged, but this one's the one that everybody plays, and it has the most liquid options on it. Now, I have puts sold at 20 and 1950. They're in the money. I might get put those shares. I'm completely okay with that. Those are ones that I was talking about a minute ago that I've had going since September. Right here. I started doing these back here in September on the 19th. Oh, excuse me, 19th, right there. So started selling 3 at 18. I've bumped it up just a little bit to 1950. And with the combination here, I've collected $3,100 in premium on those 4 contracts. $3,100. Never gotten put the shares. Never taken shares. Just
There's
been
another
rolling.
another case study in how to make money without ever touching a stock. That's beautiful.
$3,135 I've collected right there. That's the premium I've collected. I've actually booked 3,036 of it. It controls 400 shares because one contract represents 100 shares. So if I got put these shares, I've already got $7.83 of profit in those shares. If I got put those shares, if I was just able to sell it back for the strike price that I got put.
That'd be a gift. I think anytime you get put these shares or assign these shares, it's a gift.
So it's almost $8 a profit per share already without ever buying the shares. That's the craziest thing right there
Isn't
to
it?
me.
So rolling it, Clay, he sells a cash secured put below the price of the stock, and the stock doesn't come down. So he buys that same put that he sold, he buys it back for less
Buy it back,
money, a penny or
sell
two,
it.
penny or two, and then resell it for 50 cents or more or 60 cents. And then if he doesn't get the stock put to him, it's going to expire worthless. But before it does, he wants to buy it back and sell another one so he could sell more time, or you could just let it expire worthless. But by, he's speeding up the process with keeping his capital more efficient by rolling it more, closing out a position for a penny or two, reselling in kind of the same position for 50 cents or more, in a week, for next Friday. And then that kind of goes down to a penny or two. Then at whatever day of the week that is, you buy that back and then you sell it out for the next Friday.
I've done this over and over. I've gotten, looks like as high as $1.07 for a
Ooh.
week.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got 48 cents in there for 1 week. It's not the same every week. 77 cents right there, 67 cents right there.
but it's more than you're going to get on almost anything else, which is why we're not looking for new stocks every day. I pretty much have the same 5 or 10 go-to that I use all the time, and this is
Here,
one of them.
here the Christmas week. I don't think I've actually updated this recently, but with the current contract, Christmas week I was only able to get $20 a contract. It was kind of weak sauce on that premium, and obviously I don't have it updated because I still have those contracts open. I forgot to do my accounting on that
And you
one.
got a Christmas dividend. This thing paid out a huge end of the year dividend.
It did pay out a Christmas dividend, and in case anybody missed that dividend right there, we actually got 2 dividends. We got this one that paid out 57, almost 58 cents,
Mm.
which was like a whole nother week's of selling premium. With the 5,000 shares I have, that was like $3,000.
As a bonus dividend paid out from what the management company Direction had in capital gains that they didn't want to pay tax on. They passed it out as a special dividend to
And
shareholders at that time. Kind of rare, but it did happen.
and then this one came out on the 31st, 11 cents more a share right there, regular dividend. Cha-ching. So I got both those dividends in December.
Yeah, it was like $3,000, right?
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
There's no service here. This is just Jack and I getting on, talking about this stuff all the time. So there's no service.
Yeah,
We're not
there is no
selling anything.
service here. We're not selling this, Ed. It's just follow along if you want to. We do it for free, just for education and because it's fun, and we talk about what we do with our own money on the line. And
Yeah, this
Doug, we
is
usually go about a week out to sell an option.
this is me actually making money, actually showing it all for free. You can get on K Info and look at if you make an account. I have all these trades posted for free. You can go dig through them and see what all the things I've done.
It's all audited, but the most impressive thing about it, I think, there's millions of things that I'm impressed with you, but that growth curve, you're not going to find that. You might find someone that's got a bigger ROI, whatever, takes 10,000 times more risk or whatever, but you're not going to find a better growth curve. You're not. I mean, I've seen this forever, and this is the guy you want.
I'm sitting here showing it for free. I'm on a public mission to do this. I'm not doing it
Yeah.
to sell anything. I'm doing it
No.
for me and my family.
We got a lot of services you could buy, but not this one. This is just free educational. Yeah.
I sit here and do this. Now, if you want to see every single trade, every single little twist and turn, every deposit, every debit, like I just took $2,000 out of this account to pay bills.
It's what you're supposed to do.
I have bills. I had to pay them. If you want to see every little deposit, every little debit that I do in this account, I do offer all of that. I post it to my Termite Trading Lab Insider group. It is not cheap to join that group, but everybody in there says it's worth it. And I can share the link for that. It's an application process to see if you're a good fit for it. I'm not trying to sell you on it. I'm just saying if you wanted to have all the twists and turns along the way, you can go check this out right there. Fill in
No,
your
Ed,
information. Somebody will contact you
Ed,
right
you
there.
don't need to learn it on your own. Just learn it with. We'll teach it to you every day. We're on here. We do the wheel. You
Yeah,
can
just
learn
come
it
back
right
and
here.
ask questions. We're here
Yeah.
every day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time.
And I'll tell you why you also want to hit that inquire link for Jeffries is because he's going to be live in February 9th in Jacksonville. And couple days with this guy is going to change everything for you in 2026. So that's a free bonus being able to see him live. Yeah.
And right there it is, everybody. And that's just my VIP group, all access. You get access to everything I do too. Now, some people are like, why don't you do XYZ service in this account? And I have different risk profiles. This particular account, I actually borrowed money to do this. Everybody tells you don't borrow money to trade with, right? I've heard that. Jack, you heard that? People say that. Now, if you're stupid and like most traders and you have a P&L that looks like this, it's, sometimes it's very risky to borrow money and trade with. Now, I actually started this challenge before this and proved it to myself that I could do this before I actually borrowed money and started this. I started out borrowing the tax money. I borrowed money from the IRS, and I was going to have to pay a penalty on the money I borrowed. And I got lucky, and they declared Tennessee a disaster area and gave me till November as free money.
I thought it
But
was still a
then,
disaster area, Tennessee.
yeah, well, I mean, that's up for debate, but
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to have to pay that money back to the government right there. And instead of paying it back to the government, I actually did something to keep to pay the government and keep this money active because that return that I had was going so well. I was like, well, shoot, man, if I could borrow money less than the return I've gotten so far.
That's the trick.
And I started pushing harder when I did that. And this thing, you notice the curve is a little bit steeper here. I started pushing a little bit harder, keeping my risk in check because I can't lose this money. Like, I can't lose it. So every trade I do, I ask myself the question, would I bet my house on this trade? If the answer is yes, game on.
Now, it won't always be like that. You're under a little heat now, maybe, but you can take these profits, pay back a little expenses, and get yourself out of the position.
No, that's what I'm
Or you
doing.
just
That's
use it
yeah.
for
Part of
cash.
the money I had to take out, part of the $2,000 I took out was
Yeah.
to help pay off that loan.
And that's one cool thing about the wheel strategy is, for example, at the first of every month, you can move whatever your goal is, 15,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 50,000 a month. Just the first of the month, keep that capital in your account and wire that profit from the premiums into your regular checking account. You pay yourself 12 times a year.
Now, this is not. I'm not showing you the brokerage. This is not where I trade. All right, this is an auditor. Just to be fully clear here. These trades get uploaded. This is a Robinhood account I have behind here that this service logs into my Robinhood account, downloads the trades every day, and verifies the closed trades, and then posts them here for the public. It says, hey, we checked these trades. They were valid. They were live. He really did these trades. He really made this money. So this is all audited as we go. It's kind of like Jack and I periodically have to submit all our statements and get them audited by a third-party auditor for the part of the company as part of what we claim we made and this and that and the other. This is a live audit every single day right here on my gains. And there's not many people that can do this. For instance, look at this. I'm in the top 500. There's thousands of people that do this on KInfo. Thousands of people.
Yeah.
With the relatively small amount of money I have, I'm currently ranked in the top 150 for the year.
And I think you've taken the least amount of risk. When I looked at some of these guys that are on the leaderboard, they have an outrageous ROI. And that just tells me they're straight up taking massive risk. And I don't need to make whatever. What's he at? 46,000%. I don't need that. I can do real well at 40%, and that's achievable.
And so we scroll down here, and just to show everybody like how quickly this drops off. We're down here. I'm almost to my numbers here at 148th position for the past year. And I should be right there somewhere. There I am, 151 right there. Right there's me. Of course, it's going to crash out. Right there's me. Right? 50K, 53K profit. What gets crazy, though, it doesn't take you long down through here. You get down to zero profit. And we're down to 17K here. Top, only 240 people making this kind of money. 250 people making more than $14,000 in the last year. They're willing to upload and have their performance verified. And this thing's going to freak out on me a little bit, so I have to reload it. That's crazy to me that there's only about maybe 400 people that are profitable for the last year out of the thousands of people that participate on KInfo. So this game is hard. And if you think that, oh, I could do better than that. Oh, I don't have to trade like that. Go ahead and start uploading your trades on here and show us.
Or before you do that, just borrow the money if you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it. Like, I love to see it. I love to see people do better than me. This is me just sitting here doing it, and I don't have a big account. This is not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I started with about $75,000. You sit there and go, whoa, $75,000, and you're up 53,000. Yeah, this is me doing little trades over and over, trying to book profit every single day. I can't stress how important that is. Just trying to book some little profit every day. Back here, I wasn't every day. I was trying to get it every week. Now I'm trying to get little profit every day. A little bit of profit. And I do these NASDAQ spreads. I post them on X just for free. I call it beer money trades. It's just small amounts of money I pick up every single day. It's not for everybody. Most people won't do those trades, but it's out there if you want to do it.
Lots of good stuff out there right now.
Now,
I don't think I've seen as many great opportunities in a market for
so
option sellers, especially.
I can't tell you how to make money. This is how I make money. I'm showing everybody how I make money. I can't tell you how to make money. That's not what we do. That's in fact, we start out here. We're not telling you what to do, right? Back to the disclaimer. Jack and I are sharing ways that we make money, and there's plenty of people in the chat that do make money doing the similar kind of trades we do. Yeah, some people had their best month ever in December, chasing after TSLL and some of the other opportunities we've pointed out. Yeah, speaking of other opportunities, look at this one, Jack. Look at that candle yesterday.
Amazing. That's
This,
working in your favor. That's the most boring stock in the world. And he's making money with this one too. You don't have to get into the risky, crazy stuff I get into. You can just play the normal stuff that he does.
I got the 29 sold for January 16th. I got put this down here
Wow.
after selling it for weeks and weeks, for months, really. I first got involved in it back here in June, and I have a 29 sold against it. So beautiful right there. Dollar Tree got me out, waiting for that one to do a pullback. That's
Wow. Look at
sitting
that.
there.
And we've been talking about that for a while, and it's doing
You told
great.
me you told me I was absolute crazy when I was like, I'm gonna sell a
Right
put on this
there.
baby right there.
Yeah, I'm like, shoot, go ahead. I'll follow you on Kinfo. I ain't doing that trade.
I made over six grand on this trade right here, just doing
I
two
know.
contracts.
And I'm thinking, this guy, he can literally find a needle in a haystack on a trade. I don't know how you could find a trade out of that. And yeah, look at that. He kills it. He kills it.
Right there. Rocket Lab. I went after this one back here in the summer,
Yep.
made about 13 grand on it up into the high. And I just went after it again, not in the KInfo account, but in my other retirement account. I went at it a little more aggressively, same pattern. I bought a 70 strike call, sold an 80 strike call. That cost me $1.98. And yesterday I sold it for $7.
Debit spread right there.
And it cost me, it was a debit spread. I bought the lower strike call, sold the higher strike call, cost me $1.98. And I closed it for $7. That was 3.5 times my money.
And that's so much better, folks, than just straight up buying a call, because that would have cost a lot more just to buy the call without selling the other call to offset part of the cost. And people say, well, with a debit spread, you're capping your upside, and maybe you are, but you can still make over 100%. So ain't no big deal.
I mean, I'm strategic about it. Like if it had cost me $5 to do the spread, I probably wouldn't have done it because
No.
there wasn't much opportunity there. But it cost me $1.98 on a $10 strike, $10 wide spread. So
Yeah,
this is
could go up 500%, right? Or,
yeah, I mean, I could have essentially made 5 times my money if I had waited, if I'd been bold enough to hold it.
I've never had, been a long time since I've ever made 500% on something. I can't remember.
I'll take 350% gain,
Every day.
I mean, there's something to be said about knowing when to take the money and run.
Yeah.
It was up past my target, and that's time to book it for me.
Yeah. Now, see, I would stay with this right now. In fact, I'm going to trade this one because it's gonna get that real good trend rolling. So like I like to go back to the well over and over and over again. And Rocket Lab is looking something like I want to do. I'm doing it right now with ASTS.
Yeah,
Let's
that
take
one
a
still
look
has
at that
upside to
puppy.
go. But I just wanted to stress that I am a trend pullback continuation trader. So when I get the pullback and it does all the stuff I need it to do, I get my entry signal for the continuation, and I grab it and I hit it and quit it. I know
And walk off
when
like Big Poppy.
yeah, I just walk off. I mean, 350% off on top of making the 13 grand back here in the summer. I mean, Rocket Lab's been really kind to me, but
Yeah.
I know that I don't want to sit through a big pullback. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
off of
do.
it
I
for
don't
now.
mind sitting through pullbacks. Once I get something like that, I'm gonna keep playing it. Same thing here. I sold the 83 put that expires on the 9th for $2.18. I felt like that was highway robbery. So I took some of that 218 and I actually bought 100 shares and I sold the 120 call.
Yeah,
This
this is
one's been amazing, man.
same
This
pattern here. Here's the high, here's the low. I didn't go after this one because of the higher price involved. Kind of. There was the entry for my pattern. It pulled back once, pulled back twice. It is 75% likely to go tag this 114
I
right up
hope
here.
so. I'm loading up. I'm backing up the truck.
Still has upside to go. So this one's not played out. Rocket Lab is played out. ASTS not played out for my
Well,
pattern. Just for
Rocket Lab being
my
Rocket Lab being played out is be a good time to sell a cash secured put, right?
well, on a dip, on a down day, I
Okay.
might go
All right.
after it again.
All right.
For me, I get after these things. This would have been great to sell puts right in here and right in here. And maybe I should have, but I didn't. Just wasn't on my list. It's not one I've traded much. You know, here's the story. Here's the deal. There's only so much stuff you can watch. There's only so many trades you can do. Um, I like the ones I like. I can't explain it all the time. I make the money I make, but I don't sweat the stuff that I miss, right? Like ASTS, I'm not sitting here like, man, I should have done that. I mean, I could have done it, but I just didn't. Why not? Huh? It never, it, I thought I had better opportunity in other stuff. Was it necessarily better? I don't know. But, it's kind of hard to argue with this profit and loss that I keep showing off, right? Kind of hard to argue with that.
Very hard.
Kind of hard to say I'm doing it wrong. So Jack and I, we both kind of feel like when you're on a pullback, that's the time to sell your put. When you're on a rip, that's the time to sell your call if you're doing the wheel. You sell puts, you get put shares, you ride those shares up, you sell calls on the upside and get called out.
Start over.
And that's the wheel in a nutshell. You sell your puts, sell your calls, you get shares put to you, you get shares taken away, and you just keep doing this circular action here.
Or now, when you do that, you could move on to another stock if you get called out, or you could go back to the same stock. And if it's trending, I like to go with the same stocks.
And I tend to move around a little bit. You can see ASTS beta 1.23, Rocket Lab, the beta 2.18. And that's probably a reason why, in the back of my mind, I went after Rocket Lab instead of ASTS. A little bit higher beta. This one hit the target already, and I'm off of it. So, like I said, there's not a way to trade. There's lots of people that'll tell you there's a way to trade. Do my way. That's the way you make money. That's why there's so many of us out here doing this, right?
Yeah.
With so many different systems and methods and opinions, and you got to find what speaks to you, what you have the patience to wait for, what you have the discipline to execute, and what you have the personal accountability to own when you take that trade.
Amen.
Those three pillars are the pillars of a good trader. And if you can find the stuff that fits with those three pillars for you, you'll probably do good at this. Took me like 20 years of searching around in the desert with the blindfold on before I figured it out.
Me too. It
I
took me a long time and a lot of money
I
lost.
like to try to cut that out for people and just show you some of the stuff that actually works. Because I tried a bunch of stuff. I tried fundamental trading. I tried technical trading. I tried trading by astrology and trading by news and trading by this and trading by that and a bunch of bullshit. And it comes down to this pattern right here all boils down to Elliott wave theory. You can say it's full of bunk or whatever you want to, but it works for me. I can teach you a couple easy patterns that work
Yeah,
over
that's
and over and over.
chapter one in Jeffrey's book is 20 years in the desert with
Yeah,
a blindfold on.
yeah,
How's
that was
that
it,
book
man.
coming? How's that book coming?
I think I might have the first sentence done.
Hey, you got to get going on it. No AI allowed either.
So, yeah, Jack's already pre-selling the book, everybody. So,
I
yeah,
am. I'm
he'll,
setting up your road show even.
he'll drop the link here after a while. Oh, gosh. This cough keeps getting me, man. I'm ready to give this thing to somebody else.
You got what do you got? The new COVID?
I don't know what it is, man. I caught it right before Christmas, and it just keeps hanging with me. I, I spent Christmas on the couch, just laying there, wishing that I felt better. It kind of made me feel like I missed Christmas. But
Me too.
yeah, you had a different thing going
Leg
on.
up in the air. Yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't have to go have surgery because
Yeah, me too. Wow. I was almost hoping for it yesterday though, man. I just like cut it off like anything. This is unbearable. And he's like, "No, no surgery, just 8 more weeks in the boot."
mm,
Cut
mm.
it off, man. That would be less painful than this boot. But hey,
Now, Jack, a lot of people doing the wheel, they're like, well, how do you figure out what to trade? And there's a few different ways you can go about this. Way number one, Jack and I are here live every day talking about the best opportunities that we've found in the market for
and the
this type
trades
of
we're
trade.
doing with our own money. Yeah.
So
That's also
that's
important.
way number one right there. It's easy. You can come check in with us. And Blake, as far as I know, actually broadcast this on YouTube on the Financial Wars channel. So if you can't watch us live, you can come back and watch it on the Financial Wars channel. And if you're lucky, Blake will drop the link for that channel in the chat. So you can go bookmark it, be a subscriber on the channel. So you can come back and watch us if you can't watch us live. Now, way number two, just go check around and see what's moving. There are lists you can get called 52-week high. Jack, we talk about this often. One of the ways to get them, now I know you have a tool that somebody can buy, but you can do this for free. Now, it's going to take a little bit of work. There's a place called Market Chameleon right here. That's just Market Chameleon. And you pop over to stocks, you jump down here, 52-week highs and lows. There's already a list. We're looking for 52-week highs. We want to find stuff that has high average volume of options because we want to trade
Yep.
options for the wheel.
Has weekly options, has a beta over 1.
So we start diving in here, and here's your list of stuff. I like to
New
stay
high, new high is
above like 10,000 shares or 10,000 options.
new high is the single best place to start looking for a stock, preferably once you founded it, make it a new 52-week high. It would fit within the context of an uptrend, not a big jump up on news or something crazy, just one 52-week high and then look back at the last 6 months and see if it's in a decent trend. There you go. Then does it have over 500,000 shares average daily volume? Does it have weekly options? Does it have a beta over 1? And you're pretty much off to the races. That's
Yeah,
simple.
not everything here is going to be good stuff, and not everything
Most
here
of
is
it
bad
won't.
stuff.
Most of it won't be good. Yeah, if you find 3 out of there, you'd be doing great. 3 stocks.
So, like Merck right here is actually one that I've been chasing for almost a year now, and that's a pretty good one. I've
Yeah,
been
it
in and
is.
out of it several times. I'm off of it right now, but go look at that chart. I don't usually trade biotech and pharma, but look at this baby.
Oh, ooh.
Look at that trend.
Look at that dividend.
This has got lots of stuff going for it.
Yeah, it does.
But this is not at all-time highs. We still have a ways to go on the pattern here. This big pullback, we're just breaking above. We have upside to 150. So this is one that you could go chasing after. Look at that dividend, 3%. Whoo,
I
smoking
love
hot.
that stuff.
The
Yeah.
beta is a little bit low on it, but they can't all be the biggest winners with 3 times the S&P 500 on the beta. And for people that don't know what beta means, Jack, why don't you go over it real quick?
Yeah, beta is a measurement of volatility. So the broad market has a beta of one. Any stock that has a beta over one is more volatile than the broad market and therefore has higher premiums when you're an option seller. But that's just one component. You can do the wheel with Merck. I do it with some of those boring stuff out there. McDonald's, all my dividend portfolio, I do it with. And I don't make as much, but it's still great cash flow on stocks that I want to own, and they're dividend stocks. So you could do it on Merck, no problem, even though it doesn't have a high beta. That's just one consideration.
Yeah. So, then somebody says, what would you put as a stop loss on a wheel trade? And
No
DR
stops.
DR says that's the whole thing. How do you do the wheel wrong? You stop yourself out. You book a loss.
Don't
That's how
do
you do
that.
it wrong. Um, Both Jack and I are strongly adamant against never stopping out of a wheel trade.
And never booking a loss. Just, we were doing just calls, covered calls on Google after the stock split, and it went all the way down from 116 to 88. And just doing it disciplined way, you never had to book a loss on that stock. Everybody has made money in that thing. And it's been going live over 3 years. So I'm adamant you do not book the loss. Even if the stock goes from 116 to 88, do not book a loss. Work yourself out of it by cash flowing it every week or every month.
Now, step one in the wheel is you have to find a stock that you want to own. If Merck is something you would never want to own, it's automatically off your list. If get involved in Tesla was something you don't want to do. If you think this is just garbage and Elon's a megalomaniac and you don't want to touch anything he touches, this one's off your list. Doesn't matter how good it is, doesn't matter how much money Jack and I have made. You got to want to own it. That's step number one, is to find something you want to own. And then you find a great price that you want to own it at. And that's where you start, by selling your put. Like on Merck, if you are looking at this and you're like, geez, 110, that's way high. I'd rather be buying it down here at 80. That's your price. All right. Don't buy it in anything above 80. If 80 is what you think's the support and where you think that that's the great price to get in at. Now, that means you may miss some stuff if this just keeps ripping and never pulls back.
You might miss the whole thing for 7 months. I missed it in Archer Daniels Midland like that, exactly like that. And I wanted the stock, so I had to move my strike price closer to the market price of the stock to finally get it after 6 months of collecting premium doing this.
That's like TSLL right here. I've been selling those 19s and 20s since back here in September and have not gotten put the stock
And
despite the dips.
I have, and it's been a gift every time I have been assigned. It's been an amazing gift. I mean, just look at it. It's hard to lose because it's just kind of going sideways. So if I get the stock and it's up $1 Monday morning after getting it to me, put to me on Friday at 18.50, I could sell it at 19.50. I'm going to do that. But I kept a little bit of it and sold calls against it, and that worked out great too. It's hard to mess this one up.
So I started back here with 4 contracts in September. I've been rolling them forward every week through here. That's October, November, December, January, 4 months now. I've collected $8 a share with 400. This represents 400 shares doing 4 contracts. $8 a share. So almost $3,200 profit in a stock that did jack diddly nothing for 4 months.
I love that, man. I love that. That's a case study right there, too. How I made X amount of dollars without ever owning a share of the stock. That's brilliant.
So
But I want to own this one, just so you know. I'm being fully transparent. I think this one goes higher. I think Tesla as a stock is poised to absolutely rip this year. I got a special trade just for Tesla stock.
yeah, we should talk about
And,
that a little bit. I did a trade similar to this last Friday, Jack. I wanted to talk to you about it. I was kind of saving it to talk about here.
I can barely
Now,
look at this thing. I mean, every time I look at it, I just want to buy more.
now look how many red days we had in a row on Tesla. Tesla had never made this many red days in a row.
I'm
Right
stunned
there.
it's not $500 a share.
Here on Friday, right near the end of the day, I'd never seen this many red days in a row. I did some numbers. It's never had this many red days in a row ever in the history of a stock. I was like, this thing's due a bounce. If not Monday, then sometime next week probably. So I went ahead and did a trade very similar to your Tesla payouts trade. I bought a debit spread at the money right there, put a 50% profit target on it. It cost me $1.25. I put on $1.88 close target. Came in Monday morning, yesterday,
Boom.
or Monday, and 2 days back. Boom, 50% profit
I love it. That's what we're trying to do.
right there. And I didn't even have your service. I just kind of learned about that trade by listening to you. Being here on the show, learn to teach a medium-aged dog a new trick. And so I think we should talk more about these beautiful Tesla payouts that you
Let's do it.
have.
Let's do it.
And this will load up, maybe.